I last saw my birth certificate in 2008. I searched everywhere for my birth certificate but could not find it. I didn't even go to the police or to the magistrate to declare it missing because I felt there was no need to do that. Well, 3 years ago, I wanted to do an official assignment. So I called the office. They now told me the documents they needed for what I wanted to do. And one of the documents they needed was a birth certificate. I now told them that my birth certificate got missing. They said there was no way they can do what I wanted without birth certificate. So I now called the magistrate and said, I want to have a new birth certificate, that my old birth certificate got missing. They now gave me an appointment. On the day of the appointment, I went there, waited for my turn. When it was my turn, I knocked at the door, entered the room, and the lady now demanded that I should identify myself. I gave her my red passport. She took a glance at it, now searched the computer, and she said, well, she couldn't find a copy of my old birth certificate in computer. Well, I've got to go to my former country and demand for a new birth certificate. I said, how can? I said, the country you are talking about, I renounced her citizenship close to 30 years now. And each time I want to even go pay the country a visit, I apply for an entry visa, which means I go to the country with a visa as a foreigner. So how then do you expect me to go to the embassy and ask for a birth certificate? The woman said there was nothing she could do. You know, some of these racist individuals, whenever they see an African man or woman, they look for a way to embarrass you. The woman, a kind of want to tell me that I'm not original, kind of, you know. So I got upset and I left her office. When I came home, I placed a call to another office. The woman spoke to me for a while. We were just, you know, we were calling and each other, arguing on phone. At the end of the day, the woman said, well, it should be better I go to my former country's embassy to demand for a birth certificate. I said, that is not the right thing to do. Nobody would listen to me because I'm no longer a citizen of this country and it is an improper thing to do. So as I sat at home, I got so upset. I said, I got frustrated because I needed another birth certificate. I now called the head office. You got it, the head office. I met a man on telephone. The man asked me what I wanted. I explained everything to the man in detail. Now he asked me my first name. I told him my surname. I told him my date of birth. I told him. The man now asked me which magistrate, which office did I call. I told him the office I called. He said I should wait. I should drop the call, that he was going to call me back in some minutes. After like 5 minutes, the man called me back and now told me to go back, call back that office, and they are going to give me my birth certificate. I called that office back, met the same woman on phone. I said, you heard what your boss said? She said, yeah, but we've got to fix an appointment. So we fixed an appointment. On the day of the appointment, I went there. They said I should pay like 27 euros. I paid 27 euros. And they issued me another birth certificate. Now, these people knew what they did. They knew they were supposed to issue me another birth certificate, but they wanted to tell me indirectly that I'm not original. But I am original, and there was nothing, and there is nothing they can do about it. This is what is called subtle racism. A man who has been a citizen of a country for close to 30 years now, I've got no other country except this country. So why should you tell me to go get birth certificates from another country that I'm no longer the citizen? Eventually, they gave me another birth certificate and apologized to me. You see, this wasn't the first time such a thing had happened. There are times you go to an office where you are required to present your identity, identify yourself. Sometimes you show your passports. You see them ask you, but which country do you actually come from? When they ask me such question, I don't answer them. I shut them up. I said, what passport are you seeing here? And the passport you are seeing here is where I come from. Whether you like it or not, that is how it is. I said the passport you are seeing here is where I come from. You are seeing a passport that shows my country, and you are asking me, where do I come from? You see them say, Sholigong, they say they are sorry. They actually know what they are doing. There was a day I was online, and that day Austria was playing soccer. So somebody, a follower, commented that we are playing match today. I said, I asked, are we winning? The guy began to laugh at me. He laughed. He said, look at, like, are we? So I have the gut to include myself, are we? The way the guy responded to me, he never expected me to say, are we? He wanted me to exclude myself as a citizen from being a citizen of the country. You get it? You see the mentality. Even when you are a citizen of a country, they look for a way to make you feel as if you are not original. You got it now? Sometimes they see the passport and they still ask you, where are you actually from? And that is not the proper thing to do. And I reject it every now and then. I reject it. If you try it where I am, I put you straight. Now, I have made many racist videos. You see some videos I've made where I spoke about racism. You see some people comment, some racist people that do not have profile picture, no name, say, go back to Africa. You are not needed here. Listen, let me tell you. I am an European citizen and there is nothing you can do about it. You cannot tell me to go back to Africa. I'm not an African. I'm an European, officially. So you coming on my comment section to say, go back to Africa, you are wasting your energy. This is my country, a country that I've spent over 70% of my life is my real country. A country that I'm carrying the passport is my country, and the country that I can defend. I live here. There is nothing you can do about it, and you cannot intimidate me. And for those of you saying, go back to Africa, I'm here for good. How can you ask me? How can you be telling me to go back to my country? Which country? You cannot drive me away from my country. I'm already in my country, and you are telling me, go back to your country. How about Europeans that are living in South Africa? Do you ask them to go back to their country? How about the Europeans that are in Zimbabwe? How about even the Europeans that are in USA? The Europeans that are in USA, Europeans are not Americans. There are millions of them there. Do you ask them to go back to Europe? There are Europeans in Australia, in New Zealand, and many other regions of the world. That's their home. The way those places are their home, that is how Europe is my home too. And there is nothing you can do about it. I can decide to go to anywhere and live. You got it? So have that in mind. Your comments or your racism cannot stop me. My name is Rodi. See you in my next video.